Hi everyone, we are at the Zeeve Rollup and Appchain Day, and I have the right person for the Appchains today. I have Matt from Avalanche, and if you know already that Avalanche has released one of the biggest updates ever. It's Avalanche L1s, but I'll not talk about it because I have the right person. So Matt, L1s, what are
Yeah,
these?
yeah. I think L1s are generally application-specific blockchains. They also can be kind of general purpose depending on the use case, but this kind of version of scaling was pioneered, I'd say, back in 2017 and 2018 with the Cosmos team, as well as the Polkadot team, and we feel like we've kind of perfected that approach with Avalanche. And what used to be known as Avalanche subnets are now rebranded to Avalanche L1s. So we had, to your point, our most important technical upgrade, Avalanche 9000, or what it's called internally, Etna, go live in November of the past year. The main points in relation to Avalanche L1s, to remove the requirement to validate the primary network, which makes it much cheaper from a CapEx standpoint of launching one's own L1. And so removing that requirement no longer means people have to stake 2,000 AVAX per validator, and instead we have a pay-as-you-go fee that burns the AVAX paid for Avalanche L1 validators. Our hope is that we see an abundance of new Avalanche L1s launching, and therefore, if we can get 10, 20,000 validators, AVAX will eventually become deflationary as more and more people are paying the pay-as-you-go fees.
I think nothing better than hearing that Avalanche has gotten sharper, faster, and cheaper. And when I say cheaper, it's not just that the chain is cheaper. Running the chain is cheaper as well. We have recently launched Cogitus, which is powered by Zeeve, and it's a one-click Avalanche L1 automation. You can launch testnets in like 5 minutes and under $50. And mainnets again, with the similar capability. So how important do you think these kind of solutions are for the projects to get to the ecosystem and get rolling fast?
Yeah, I mean, I think for builders, it's just about launching in the cheapest possible way in terms of the underlying infrastructure. And I think requiring builders to try and run their own validators or find validators to recruit via GoGo Pool or Benqi in terms of their Ignite program was an added friction that we needed to take away. And especially in terms of regulated entities that might not be able to validate the primary network or even acquire AVAX tokens and have them on their balance sheet, I think this allows for regulated entities to now launch their own Avalanche L1s much easier. I think Zeeve, you guys are working with people like Rymedi in terms of bringing patient records on chain and other enterprises. And I'm sure your guys' own clients have told you about this friction in the past that have now been removed.
So wherever we have gone, and working with these customers, we have heard nothing but good things about Avalanche, its stability, its sharpness, about technical aspects. So now a lot of new projects are coming in, after this update, because it has become more economic to afford, more sustainable for project. So what is this Retro 9000 program, and how projects can benefit from it?
Yeah, so what the Retro 9000 program is it's an incentive program for Avalanche L1 builders and Avalanche L1 infra and tooling providers. And so it's a retroactive grants program that the kind of gist or purpose of it is social building and building in public. And so within that, potential L1 builders can register their project on the Retro 9000 website and then receive votes from our community. And then once they become eligible to receive the grants in terms of going live in a mainnet setting, we're going to use those votes to help kind of determine the size of the grants that those projects might receive.
So all Retro 9000 means is that Avalanche ecosystem is going to be bigger, much bigger, and much better going forward, because more tooling would come around, more projects would come around, more use cases would come around.
Exactly.
And that would become all easy than it was ever before. So I think this is a fantastic upgrade, and we are committed to help Avalanche projects launch their own chains, manage them 24/7 as much as we can. And I think there's no limit in terms of how much more can we talk about this. But I think you dropped pearls of wisdoms during the panel as well about how it is looking overall in the Web3 ecosystem going forward. And now Avalanche it very uniquely supports the POA, the permissioning ecosystems, as well as the completely permissionless chains, which makes it a good fit. But from the use case and industry segment perspective, who do you think would benefit the most? Or maybe you can say that all would benefit from it: the institutions, the Web3 hardcore crypto native projects, and gaming, DeFi, and all. Pretty much every segment.
Yeah, I mean, I think every builder within our ecosystem. I mean, a part of the Avalanche 9000 upgrade that we haven't really chatted about that much is lower C-chain gas fees, and so I think it was ACP. Yeah, exactly. Lowered C-chain gas fees from 25 enavox to 1 enavox, which is about a 95% reduction. So I'm an everyday user of the C-chain, as well as a lot of our Avalanche L1s. And when I was using it every day 6 months ago, I was paying roughly 40, 50 cents a transaction, and now it's a couple pennies max. And so I think we're seeing cheaper transactions for users, therefore it helps dApps. I think kind of a direct attribute that has been improved has been our number of transactions, unique active users in terms of the C-chain, as well as volumes on DEXs. And so when you lower gas fees, when you have a mature ecosystem like Avalanche's, you have pretty deep DEX liquidity, and therefore you see more ARBs take place, and therefore higher DEX volumes as those ARBs are now profitable because gas fees are lower.
I think you heard all the right synonyms to Avalanche: faster, better, sharper, stable, robust, reliable. What else we can say? Thank you, Matt, for being here. I hope you enjoyed the vibes at the Rollup and Appchain Day by Zeeve, and I think Avalanche co-hosted it, which is a big thing. So thank you very much.
Thank
you for being
here. Thank you.
Have
a good